crime scene.
I am Detective Daniel Han, and I'm here to investigate. When was she killed? Who found the body?
Based on the body temperature, rigor mortis, the time of death is around 10 to 11 p.m. It was the mother's victim who found the body early this morning. She came to visit and pick up something from her daughter, but she was shocked in the disbelief to find her daughter's lifeless body.
Morning. Shock and sadness in the running, the family mourned the victim's death. Erica Mason, 24 years old, the head internal auditor of the BR Land Development Company. The police said she was killed due to a severe head trauma, and today the search continued for a suspect. The police haven't named the suspect, but they did say it was not a random act. This was victim's family, though, say they already complete lost as to why anyone would target a young woman inside her home. 24-year-old Erica Mason died in the middle of the night inside her home. Police now calling this a murder. Police got a 911 call that a young woman was killed. When they arrived at Gem Village, Erica was already dead. According to her mother, she was leaving to have a vacation. Investigations say it appears that Erica was targeted. So far, they're not saying by who or why. The detective says this is an ongoing and very active investigation. They're urging anyone with information to come forward. Victoria Warren, 7 News.
Yes, come in. Good morning, my name is Detective Daniel Han from Davao Police Department, and I'm here to investigate regarding the murder case of Erica Mason.
Okay, Mr. Han, please take your seat. What brings you here, Detective Han?
Where last night between 8 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Why are you asking me that? Do you really think I have something to do with the murder? Well then, let me clear your suspicion. I had a meeting with the shareholders about the project we're working on. You can call my secretary about this matter. Come to the office right now. Tell Detective Holland, where am I last night?
Wait, let me check. Yes, Mr. Brandon had a meeting last night with the shareholders. I have been with him the whole time.
Okay guys, so this is my proposal for the overall development plan. So as you can see, the stage 1 is already sold. The stage 2B and 2A, they're almost sold. And the stage 3 is available. So now I am proposing the stage 4, which is now selling. So what do you guys think?
Why did the management decided to sell that stage 4 area? I think we should develop more because it will be a great opportunity for the investors to invest.
That would be better.
am Detective Han, and I'm holding the case of Erica Mason. I am here to ask some questions. What's your relationship with the victim?
We saw Erica left early yesterday at around 3 p.m. She looked a bit troubled, but other than that, I didn't see anything suspicious about her.
She was the head internal auditor. After all, I can't blame her. Also, we were very busy yesterday since the deadline of the submission of our report is today. And we left the office last night around 11 p.m.
We were ordered to plan and perform internal audit for the upcoming project. She was the head internal auditor and takes direct orders from the CFO. Her work is more difficult than ours. I was worried she was pushing herself too hard.
I believe this watch belongs to you.
Yes, it is mine. And who are you? How did you know?
I am Detective Han. I am holding the case of Erica Mason. I went looking around her house and saw photos of you in a meeting. I think it's for documentation.
Yes, I had a meeting with investors yesterday at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I forgot to give Erica the needed document to be audited. So I called the office and found out that she already left. So I took the liberty of bringing it directly to her house. I think I arrived at exactly 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She offered me coffee and I accidentally spilled the coffee on my watch, so I took it off. Then I received an urgent call and leave immediately.
Based on the investigation, you were the last person she met.
That is correct. She called me saying that I left my watch on their house, so I told her to give it to me on the office tomorrow morning. Then I informed the Chief Operating Officer, Misu, that I already gave Erica the document. Well, I never expected that that will be our last conversation.
The document you were talking about, do you have a copy of it? I don't really know what it looks like. I wanted to make sure that the document is still in the crime scene.
Well, if it's all about the document, I cannot give you the information about it, since the CEO is the only one who has a copy of it. But if it will be used as an evidence on Erica's case, I will make sure I will give you a copy of it.
was the document you were talking about?
That document was all about a multi-billion-dollar investment project for land development. The CEO and COO are looking forward to it. Here, I have a copy of it.
If my hunch is correct, that document must be here. It's gone! Who are involved in this project?
Well, the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Brandon, me, the Chief Financial Officer, and also the Chief Operating Officer, Miss Sue.
Excuse me, can I talk to your COO, Miss Sue?
I'm sorry, sir, but she's on a business trip and will be returning the day after tomorrow.
Do you know where the COO when the murder was happened?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I am Detective Daniel Han and I'm holding the case of Erica Mason.
Oh, Miss Mason.
It's unusual though. I saw Miss Sue with Miss Mason when I was on my way at the shop. They were at a nearby coffee shop around 7 p.m. 30 minutes later, when I was on my way home, I saw them leaving, taking separate ways.
Mrs. Mason? Mrs. Mason?
Oh, Mr. Han! Have a seat, Mr. Han. What do you like? Coffee, water, or tea?
Anything would be okay for me.
Okay, just wait there.
I know it's hard for you right now, but I have a few questions to ask. Have you noticed anything suspicious when you arrived at the crime scene?
Mr. Han, the front door wasn't locked. I don't understand. Who would do such thing to my daughter? My daughter? She's very dedicated to her work. And during her college years, when she does something, she really puts into mind it. You can ask out her close friend in college. Sorry, I need to take this. Hila? I'm sorry, detective. I really need to go.
morning, ma'am. I am Detective Daniel Han from Davao Police Department.
Please have a seat.
I assume that you already heard about the death of Erica Mason. I am here to ask some questions.
Sure, you can ask me anything.
Why are you with her the night before she died?
Oh, that? I met her by accident and invited her for a cup of coffee. It was the perfect timing. I wanted to talk to her about the document because I was informed by the Chief Finance Officer that she already gave it to her. It was not really a long conversation, but she told me to give a certain watch to the Chief Finance Officer, saying she left it while in a hurry. She was on her way to the company because she said she can come tomorrow. She planned to tell the Chief Finance Officer about her unexpected trip, but she is not picking up her phone.
What watch?
The watch of Miss Macy. Well, I was so busy that day, so I can't really give it to her myself. So, I told my secretary that she will have to return it instead.
February 8, 2018. A victim died around 10 to 11 p.m. The victim was Erica Mason, and everyone knows that the killer works here. First, there was no forced entry because the victim knows the killer. Next, there was no valuable things missing except for the document about the multi-billion project. I went there to look for it, but it was gone. Someone went to Erica's house to take it. The culprit didn't want to kill her, but wanted to convince her. But things went bad. The culprit was desperately trying to hide something because the culprit made a mistake. And the culprit was you, Katrina Molly Lawrence, KML.
I think you are making a mistake, Mr. Detective. Why would I want to kill her? On what grounds?
You thought you could convince her because you were her close friend? That's why you went to her home. But you couldn't convince her. You didn't really go to the shop that day. You were on your way to her house. You were wrong about the time. It wasn't 7 p.m. It was around 6 p.m. I went to the coffee shop myself to make sure. You thought it was 7 p.m. because you looked at the watch given to you by the COO. It stopped at 7 p.m. because it's already not functioning well after the CFO spilled it with tea.
I had no choice. The CEO is pressuring me. The document wasn't supposed to be out yet. The documents were interchanged. Before I knew it, it was already too late. It was all in the document. The transactions to corrupt the company's fund. She knew. I never intended to kill her. I thought I could convince her but couldn't. We had an argument until I realized what I have done. I killed her.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, ooh, the way that things have been. Oh, ooh. Second thing, second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my sea. Oh, ooh, the master of my sea. Oh, ooh. I was broken from a young age, taking my soak into the masses, writing my poems for the few.